And when I say hold yourself, I want all of you get ready to stop. When I say stop, don't move. And when I say get it, I want all of y'all to go boogie woogie. Hold it now. Boogie woogie.
Welcome to Discover RPG. I am Angela, and above me is the cat currently known as Franz.
Hi.
Everybody. Hope you all had a good week. I am here, and Franz is here because we're doing something a little different today. Hopefully fun. This is not what we're doing today. This is a already built thing that somebody else made, and it's very beautiful. We're going to be starting from scratch. But we will be trying to get a little inspired by things we find on Incarnate, which is the program we are using today. I love that. The shield thing is pretty.
That water.
Yeah, it's really good. There's some gorgeous texture things you can do in Incarnate. Fun. Okay, cool. This is perfect. This is sizing. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening. I am currently prepping to run a new campaign, a new private campaign, that the theme is circus pirates. Or a pirate circus. Anyway, honestly, it's probably a little Firefly inspired. The idea being that it is a group of ne'er-do-wells that decide to put on a show, and they travel around the coast doing performances and making coin, but, entertainment money isn't always all it's cracked up to be, so you do have to supplement it occasionally with the occasional crime. So they will also be pirates. They will be doing various things while they're inshore, from heists to smuggling to random smash and grab kind of stuff, all sorts of crimes. If anybody has any fun ideas for fun crime that a group of circus performers might want to do, please put it in the chat. I'll credit you to the players. I will be sharing as I work on it what's going on with it, and we'll be building some things here because very few, if any, of my players are watching the stream, so it's great. So I can do it with abandon. I can plan and do all sorts of dastardly things. So, hi Franz, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm excited to see what we do with this whole pirate carnival.
Oh, I'm so excited. We're gonna be start building the ship today, which means I'm gonna go get ourselves some water textures to work on. They're probably gonna be, for the most part, in shallow water for a bit. So let's start with a shallow water.
So speaking of pirates,
yes.
How did the shenanigans session go?
Shenanigans went delightfully. We didn't get to everything, partly because our dear Kyle was sick as a dog and completely lost his voice. So we were unable to have Harland in the group, which did eliminate a few of my plans for what I was going to be doing in the game. However, because of that, we kind of simplified a little bit. There was a lot to be done, so they didn't actually get to a lot of the books. A lot of it was just sort of prepping to go into the books. So they've only touched a couple of the things so far. They went to the Hallway of Endless Soldiers, which was fun. And now they have ended up in a book that is, they've ended up in a book. Oh, sure. Let me turn down the music a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately, it's because I can only assign one audio source to reduce the audio. I'm gonna see if I can. That's a really good point, Mouse. So let me make a note to do that in the future. OBS, how to make more than one output duck a music track, and also how to get more than one audio output to do captions. Right now there are Twitter captions, but it's only recording me because that's the only thing they can do. And since I talk a lot, I figured it's fine if I'm the one being heard and on the thing, I guess. I'd rather a little than none, so. Okay, so we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't work for Franz Mouse. I apologize. I didn't think about that at the time. So let's see if that helps.
We could probably also, finagle it somewhat.
Yeah, I turned you up and I turned the music down. So. Oh, actually, also, I think I have more than one thing. Let me. Hold on. It's because I have more than one source on. Because I want to hear the music. Hold on 1 second. Okay. That may have taken all the music out. Oh, no, that didn't take all the music out. Okay, good. I can't hear it, but everybody else can, so that's okay. Let me see if I can turn it on just a little for me. I'll just have the monitor down very, very low. That should be okay. I just want to be able to hear it a little. Okay, Franz, you should be good.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, you guys let me know if that's something that you can hear. Or that you can't hear, I think is more important. So, let's talk a little bit about what we're building today. We're going to be building a ship. Specifically, we're going to be building a circus ship. So this is heavily inspired by a game that I play and love called Spiritfarer.
Oh, yes.
Spiritfarer is a beautiful game. I highly recommend anybody play it if they haven't heard of it and you like poignant and affecting stories about life and death and the journey you take in life. It's a very meditative game, while also being a little village builder thingy. You make your boat, and your boat has lots of different features in it, and the passengers on your boat have little houses. This is not exactly what we're going to be building in the D&D game, but it is very inspired by this idea that you bring people on board, and you'll be and they'll be part of the circus act, and you can fine tune the performance and as you float around. So it's very much inspired by this idea of Spiritfarer. I love the book, or I love the game, but the ship aspect. And I'm very excited because this is my first time doing a seafaring game, like a true seafaring game, and I've never done ship combat before, so I'm very excited. There'll be a lot of learning on the job. But I am going to be doing... I've gotten a bunch of resources on D&D Beyond. I'm going to be reading through the Ghost of Saltmarsh as some inspiration, but also some mechanics, because I'm going to be using a ship from the Ghost of Saltmarsh as the stats for the ship. So I'm going to be using a boat called the Sea Ghost, which is in one of the Saltmarsh module adventures. There is a full ship's deck for it, but I'm not going to be using it exactly. I want to have something that's kind of our own, because I want them, first and foremost, to be able to customize the boat. So we're going to do a basic ship, and then they can either add things to it, or they'll be like rebuilding it. I'm going to be a little fast and loose with how shipbuilding works, because that's a level of specificity that I do not care to explore. I'm going to give them basically the opportunity to be modular with the ship. We're going to assume that in the world of Vale, you have shipwrights that can do fabrication and can manipulate materials in order to make a ship that exists already into a slightly different shape, but make it still seaworthy, things like that. And yes, Lane, I'm sure you enjoy this conversation. A lot of this is going to be good practice for when I bring some of the ship stuff into Might Club, my other private game, and I am very excited to bring it in. But for today, as I said, we're going to be working on the ship. The ship is called the Calliope, named after the instrument.
Calliope.
Yeah. So, for anyone who doesn't know, a Calliope is a circusy, a bell tone instrument.
Waifu?
What was that?
I said an anime waifu?
No, it's not my fault. That's not my fault. So here's just a little tidbit about me. This is a thing I have seen before. Literally this exact Calliope. This Calliope is at the Ringling Brothers Museum in Sarasota, Florida. They have a bunch of the original wagons, or like restorations of the original wagons that were in the carnival, and the Calliope was one of those things. And so it would play music as part of the parade that would go through the town when the circus was in town. It was the big promotional push. It was a way to get the townsfolk aware of the circus. The parade would then go back to the place outside of town where the circus set up, and people could follow it back to the circus tent. But so the Calliope was a big music piece, and so I think we're going to build a Calliope into the boat. And that also leads us to one of our NPCs that is going to be a big part of the game. This is basically the DMPC, which is the DM PC. This is going to be their primary contact. His name is Kingston, and he is a Paradoricocra. A Paracocra, if you will.
Oh my god.
He's got...
Short King.
Okay, so the reason that's labeled that way is because the players went through that TikTok trend that was like, every group of friends is the following, and it's like, or it was the good night to the he-theys, the she-theys, the short king, the bitch who knows everybody's star chart. And it's like a list of people and the party like assigned who was who, and I said whoever's left, that's the NPC I'll make. So tell me what of this list of random archetypes is left, and Short King was left, and I went, oh yeah, Kingston is a Short King.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Kingston, he's got kind of a Jack Sparrow vibe to him. He's gonna be a bard. And he basically is the one who spearheads the entire endeavor to build the boat, or to buy the boat and to make performing the circus. And
captain?
Essentially, yeah. And then he will be the one who plays the Calliope, because he's a bard.
Is he a ringleader?
He is a ringleader. He's the one that's like, listen, we gotta.
Well, okay, we're maybe talking about two different types of rings here.
Well, I'm a
Got the
ringmaster.
crime ring.
He's a ringmaster.
Yeah.
Insert
you got
type
the
of
crime-
ring. It's
Hello.
fine. There's a lot of that playful, like, entertainment versus crime wordplay in this game already.
Oh, beautiful.
Andy came up with the concept that people talk about the difference between show business and shore business. That you're either
Andy.
talking about the show or you're talking about what goes on land. I kept trying to come up with a good name for the campaign, and I kept thinking there's no business like shore business. But we've decided that the campaign is called Carnival Cruise. You're all welcome. And more importantly, the subtitle of it is... Actually, hold on. I have it in World Anvil, because we... this is one kind of nice thing about starting a small game. There's 7 players. It's a small game for me. A limited cast campaign is that I'm going to be starting with a few things that I've learned along the way with my large form campaign, a couple of sort of starting tasks. So I'm going to be working in World Anvil very closely with this game, and money is going to be tracked very attentively, because the premise of the game is that they're broke and that they need money to do stuff. And I was hand waving money in my usual games, but I am gonna bring in copper and silver. I'm gonna actually try to abide by some level of cost for things, instead of just a gold is a dollar, which is usually how I run stuff. It makes gold very immaterial is a bad way to put it, but it makes it inconsequential very quickly.
Right.
When you just
gold
give
is
them
like
money.
Was it more akin to like $100?
I was thinking gold was $10. But 100's just, I mean, honestly, 100's valid, but I think like
I don't know, like,
you could
what
get
the
a hotel.
quote unquote standard.
Yeah, it's I am still doing a lot of research. If I figure out a good system, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Let's see, Carnival. There we go.
Well,
So the Carnival Cruise, the premise is a ship of circus performers sail along the coast, performing fantastic feats of prowess and questionable legality. And the tagline for the game is, "When money gets tight, you gotta go for the juggler." And god damn it.
my little cat is way too happy for
How
my
your
actual
face is
facial.
right now. Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling. You're all welcome. So what we're doing right now is I'm gonna be, let me see, I'm gonna resize this a little bit. Actually, no, that's okay. We can do this. So we're dealing in making the ship, and I want to do several layers of the ship. And I've been doing a lot of research about the style that I want to do for the Calliope. And some of it is literally searching ship circuses. And I found a cute little children's book called The Circus Ship, and I found a lot of cute art for it. But then I'm just kind of looking around, trying to find some inspiration for what a portable stage would look like. More importantly, something basic that we can add on to later, because as they level or as they make money, they're going to be able to have some control over the show, and that includes updating what the ship looks like. So we're going to start relatively small and basic. There are 7 players and 1 additional character, the NPC, Kingston. So there's only 8 people that run the ship right now. It can't be a huge ship if you only have 8 crew. So we're going to keep it kind of small. Like I said, I'm basing it off of the Sea Ghost, and the Sea Ghost has a contingent for 1, 2, 3, about 10 people, maybe 13. So they're a little short-staffed right now, but a lot of those are like officer positions. So the bosun and the first mate and they don't have a deck druid yet, or a weather witch or whatever you would call it. That's another position that would be important on the ship. Someone to be able to predict the weather and potentially change it a little bit. Someone to put a little air in the sails occasionally. But that's a character that they will have to hire. That's the other thing. They're going to have to hire these people. It's not just bring them on board. They get a cut of what you make. And that's the other reason why the crime comes into play, because no matter how much they make in a performance, they're still going to have to pay people. So...
Get some friendly little urchins.
God, yeah.
For pickpocketing, you know.
Mm-hmm. What do I want? I love that there's ghost ship stuff now. Makes me very happy that there's a ghost town assets that they have now that are green and they glow. I'm very happy you enjoy it, Mouse. I'm very proud of it too. I'm excited. I'm gonna build it out, and if it works really well, I'll release it. It's going to be stuff on World Anvil that you can get access to. It'll probably end up being limited to patrons and the players who are actually in the campaign. But I'll try to be careful with how I'm actually running it so that more people can get access to the content. So
now that I think about it more,
Mm-hmm.
you really do need a couple little urchins for a couple different purposes. One, for the actual pickpocketing.
Mm-hmm.
Two, when you drop anchor in a port or however this is going to work,
Mm-hmm.
you need small little children to run around and tell people like, oh, there's this performance.
So
build
at the
hype.
moment, they are their own barkers, but that's a very good point.
Yeah.
I brought up to them during our session 0 that they'd have to decide who does what. This seems like a pretty good size for the boat, right? That looks pretty good. Like that as an inspiration.
I'm just saying, get some PC or NPCs in your pocket.
Well,
Orphans.
so we've got right now they're their own barkers, and there are 2 people in particular that have volunteered to be the people that like the high charisma characters that want to be the ones that do that. One of them is a rogue who doesn't really love people that much, but she likes making money. And then the other one is a barbarian who worships a goddess of love. And he really likes people. He really likes getting to know new folks, new friends. But we have also decided that he has himself, it's very easy for him to accumulate groupies. And so they have a contest going between the 2 of them, the rogue and the barbarian, about who can bring more people to the show every night. And the barbarian wins a lot of the time. I also recently finished designing him in Hero Forge, and he's a big boy. He's like 7'2". He's big. And I was like, excuse me, your boy needs to have some oil on his abs. And so I made his chest shiny. And we have all decided that is absolutely something he does before shows. He definitely oils himself up. And we started joking about the fact that, the crew must have to draw straws about who has to help him put the oil on him every night or every day. And the player said, oh, no, you get your groupies to do it. And so we've decided that there's a line of people early before the show that someone gets picked to help him put the oil on him. And it's a way to worship his goddess, It's just, hanging out with someone. It's fine how you do. It's really great. We also completely accidentally, the guy's covered in tattoos, but we happen to put the tattoos in such a way that there's negative space on his stomach that looks like a hand. that goes a
Oh.
little bit below his waistline. We're like, we didn't mean to do
Oh my
this, and it's
God,
totally
Angela.
perfect. It's so good. But yeah, so I'm very excited about it. And so yeah, at the moment they're their own barkers, but yeah, I love the idea of getting some urchins. I do have a couple of children that have been brought to my attention. They're like, can we please have them on the boat? I was like, okay, you got to meet them and convince them to be on the boat, but sure.
This campaign hasn't even started yet, and they're adopting urchins.
Yeah, well, I think the first quest, like maybe not in character first quest, but the player's first quest, they want to get a ship's cat. That's what they want first. So we'll see.
We can do
that
2 in
happens.
1. Get a little tabaxi urchin, and you're all set.
Just bring in Nickit and Toshi.
2 in 1. Honestly, yes.
Ugh, no. I want to make new characters, but yeah, I want to give them an actual pet, but it might not be a cat. I was like, all right, it could be any sort of predatory animal. It doesn't have to be a cat. Something that'll eat mice and rats off the boat. Doesn't have to be a cat.
A dragon turtle.
It's true. So I don't want a complete frozen boat. I want so clear. All right, so we're trying to reset. I'm trying to find what the boat is made of. Gotta find all the pieces to the boat. And I forgot what it's called. Oh, it's a composite. That's what it's called. So when I search for, there we go, sailing ship composites. That's what I want. So I don't want a galleon. We're gonna do a keel boat, which is an albatross. That would have been a really good Aarakocra to have an albatross. But all right, here's what we're gonna do. So I've got this, a ship's wyvern. Is it really weird if the parrot Aarakocra has a parrot? Alright, so let's find, we need the ship. We're gonna deselect all, and I'm just gonna get the ship stuff. Don't want composite. I just want to see the materials for a ship. There we go. So what's going to be fun is, like I said, this is a situation where we're dealing with a circus performing troupe. So we're going to be playing around with the idea of, all right, so we want this to look smaller. And I also had decided that I wanted to do it in a particular color. I want it to be red.
Do you want like brick red or like
brick
circus red?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we keep doing the map, I'll show some inspiration that I had. So I'm searching around for pictures of circus boats. And so I'm finding a bunch of stuff. There's like sculpture and old pieces. There's like actual staging. I was thinking that would be really cool to have someone who could do illusions. Let's see, this one.
Let's see. Flower boats.
Flower boats. Okay. I also found this bar. We're gonna. It's not gonna be a full-on sailing. It's gonna be a little flat. So it's not gonna be exactly a. Maybe I'll just be wide. Let's see. Maybe I can just make it wide. Oh, why is that width? That's not width. There we go. So we're gonna do that. And then, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the basic shape, which is right here. There we go. So I'm gonna build my own ship. I'm not gonna go with theirs, but I am gonna use it as a little bit of inspiration. So we take that, and we have the upstairs here. What kind of roofing do we have access to? We definitely want there to be grating on the floor, because that's going to be like, you're gonna want spots for the staging. We're gonna do... We'll have it... I'd like to ideally have this set up where there will be for different circumstances. So, like, oh, it's showtime. So there'll be a map for when there's showtime and for when they're not doing shows yet. But I'll have to work on that. Okay, so we got netting. And that's gonna be like a big old net across the base of the ship. Or across the center. Because we are gonna do 2 sails, which means we're gonna grab a couple masts. I want them to be a little bigger. Like I said, I want this to be a slightly smaller boat. So we're gonna have slightly bigger masts, which reminds me we're gonna have to use a person. Let's find fantasy battle map or watercolor city. I don't want that. I want wizard orcs. I don't know. I was sort of hoping that there'd be people. Right now all I have is Jovi, my tiefling. So I guess we'll just use her for now. She'll be the example size. Because what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we have 8 people on the ship, they're about this size. Yeah, that's enough. That's about enough to function, sure. So here's what we'll do. I guess the one benefit of using the ship that exists and just adding on top of it is that I don't have to commit to where the bottom to commit to the bottom of the boat yet. But let's do this.
Sorry, I was listening so intently I forgot I was part of the show.
You're okay. Totally fine. So we're gonna go over here. I'm just, gonna create the flooring. One big thing that I do in Incarnate is that I save things when I like them. Because you can have favorites, so things that I've built and I like. So like I've got this pretty floorboard. I think this will be the floorboard. I really love it. It's very very cool, this like hook effect. So we're gonna take that and I'm gonna make a new one. So we're gonna fiddle with the size of the slats, and I'm gonna change the hue to be a bit more red. We're gonna lower the actually we're gonna increase the contrast, lower the brightness, and lower the saturation a little bit more. Make it a little that. And let's see how that goes. Oh, we don't want it in the background. We want it in the foreground. And first things first, we're gonna add some foreground. Then we're gonna take that and we're gonna fill the map with that color. Yeah, I like that color. Oh
yeah, it's a good red.
Yeah, so based on that color, which is -27. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a screenshot of that because I don't want to have to remember all those numbers. So I got a little screenshot here I'm gonna play with over on my other screen. And then I'm gonna take the actual ship that I made. And this is important because now I'm gonna have to remember what I did to all the colors to make it this. So it's gonna be -27. I'll actually make sure we select it. The hue is -27 and the saturation is 82. The brightness is 55 125, and the contrast is 175. And there we go. We're gonna do the same to pretty much everything. We're gonna go negative 27. Saturation is 82. Brightness is 55, and 175 contrast. Gonna make the masts a little brighter. We're seeing the inside of them. Okay, there. And now, obviously, we have too much of anything. Negative 27. Good job, Mitch. Thank you. It's a joke in Mike Club. He has a soundboard, and that is one of the numbers. He has a bunch of numbers on the soundboard, so when people roll a certain number, he can push the button. Okay, so now that we've got that, I'm gonna go to the tools here. I don't care about any of the effects on this, because we're not doing any land stuff. This is all these borders are gonna be hidden. And then I'm just gonna go and erase the edges you can't see, which will take a minute. Apologies in advance for this taking a little bit. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic.
Okay, teacher.
True resurrection is neither a resurrection nor true. Discuss.
Let me Google something real quick.
That's because it's funny, Lane. The reason we use 27 all the time is because it's just some guy going, 27! I do also like, I think 32. It's like 13, 32, you fucking piece of shit. Motherfucker. It's great. If anybody watched Coffee Talk from Saturday Night Live when Mike Myers was on, and honestly, that was technically before my time, but like Comedy Central, I remember, would play reruns of SNL, and so I always ended up catching it. So I've seen a lot of SNL, despite not really being in the right age bracket. All right, so we're gonna save the Calliope. And we're gonna keep working on her. I don't know what the deal is. So let's talk what the ship actually looks like. So if the deck is red, are we dealing in like some other color for some of the other stuff? Like maybe we do red and black or something?
I'm here for the emo
You
goth
like it?
ship.
Okay. I'm cool with it too. So we do that, and then okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna mess with the top floor here. We're gonna make this different than the other piece. We're gonna go I love these wooden floor. The gothic textures are really good. Let's see what we do here. Go like that maybe, and then go 180. And actually I didn't do anything, that's fine. And then we'll go here and apply. Ooh, I love that. Let's go a little black, a little more contrast. Try that again. Black. Nah, it's a little hard to see. I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna.
So I looked up the spell True Resurrection.
Uh-huh. It is true and a resurrection. I was just being facetious.
Yeah, but also the constraints on this thing is kind of weird.
Why? How you figure?
Anything that's been dead for less than 200 years. That's like oddly specific.
They have to put some sort of limitation on it. Otherwise, you can just resurrect an ancient creature or an ancient person, and it's not necessarily what they're aiming for.
Yeah, I just feel like 200 years is like a lot of time.
Well, you got to think about the longer lived races, I think. The ones that are around for like 800 years, you know?
I mean, I guess, but that's like how long they've been dead for, not how like old they are.
Sure, I guess that's fair. Okay, so we're gonna do net. I'm gonna group the net together so that I can deal with that later. Okay, and then there's another net I want to use. This net. I want this net. Because we're gonna attach it. You can't true res undead. I don't think. I don't think you can.
Yeah, you can.
Interesting.
Apparently from the player's handbook errata version 1.22.
Mm-hmm.
If the creature was undead, it is restored to its non-undead form. 6 printing.
Gotcha. A lot of the less true resurrection spells do specifically say you can't. It doesn't work if they were undead. So like the ones you would do in the middle of battle don't typically work.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, there's got to be
here,
like your soul, your access to the soul is disrupted. Like you can't just.
Yeah, the soul also has to be willing.
Yeah, that too.
The thing I'm interested in is if someone was undead and then like died, like was like truly killed after being undead, could you res them at that point, or is that just no longer an option?
Wait, one more time. Tell me the scenario again.
So okay, so you know like the lesser forms of like resurrection don't count undead, or don't work for undead. If something was undead and then you killed it again,
so if you destroyed a zombie, for example,
would you be able to res it after it's no longer undead?
True res, yes, but I don't think you can bring something back with like resurrection or revivify. I don't think you could do that. Like you'd have to use the true resurrection is really expensive. It's like 25,000 gold to do it.
25,000 worth of diamonds.
Worth of diamond, not even that. I just saw something on Twitter today that made me laugh really hard, but also was a thinker. Was why like we shouldn't be using diamonds should not be intrinsically more expensive than any other kind of gemstone in a fantasy world because of the diamond industry falsely inflating the value of diamonds on Earth. So diamonds shouldn't be that like it comes from an Earth-centric perspective to have it be that expensive. To have it be the most expensive gemstone. And I was like, you know what? You're freaking right.
Well, and it's also a matter of like, why are gemstones even so highly valued in general in this setting when with the magic that we have at hand, it'd be incredibly easy to just like manufacture gemstones.
So
with,
that's a really good
pressure.
Okay. Oh, with pressure.
Because like it's molecular at a molecular level, it is exactly the same thing. It's just a matter of like how long does it take.
I think so here's what I think about that. I think that part of the reason that gemstones are considered so valuable is it's beyond the general. It comes with the intrinsic belief that there is something arcane in value with these items. It's not like there is some other principle that is being used here. It's not just the gem itself and it being molecularly similar. I think there's probably some like how you talk about like the ephemeral concept of a human soul. I wonder if the idea, at least in my mind, is that there is something intrinsically valuable from a like arcane perspective about gemstones. And I don't know if not allowing the natural processes of the world to act on that gem, I don't know if you get the same result as a spellcasting material. If that makes any sense.
No,
there might be, if you're going to say gravity is a type of magic, or if you're going to say that gravity magic is a thing, there might be something about the natural state of a gem and how it is formed by the earth that might account for why it's special. Because I know that there's a spell called Fabricate that allows you to make something. Creation is the one I'm thinking. There's a spell called Creation that lets you make materials. But it says you cannot use those. I mean, obviously, this is a conjuration. It's not the same as what you're doing. What you're saying is not creating the diamond, but using magic to mimic the environment that would create the diamond.
Yes.
I think you could, but if you think about the limitations on the power of spells in 5e, I think you're talking 9th level spells at that point to be able to create a diamond with enough pressure. Because if you're gonna, when you're making the whole like mathematics of that, you're dealing with pressure and time. So if you're gonna increase one of them, or if you're gonna decrease one of them, you've got to increase the other. At least that's in bare bones physics concept, I would imagine. So if you were going to try to severely decrease the amount of time it would take to make a diamond, you would have to severely increase the amount of pressure. So the amount of pressure you would have to exert is probably beyond the average magic user. You'd probably have to have a 9th or even like what is called a 10th level spell, which I found a bunch of homebrew 10th level spells, and the basic premise is you have to have a bunch of wizards or a bunch of magic casters that can cast 9th level spells all work in concert with each other for a great goal, which is what a 10th level spell can be. There's things like create plane or like create a plane of existence, or there's a lot of apocalyptic spells that are plot points rather than something a player would do. Those are 10th levels.
So now consider that these diamonds, these gemstones can still be created, but they don't have any magical energy.
Okay.
Make a great plot hook for like trying to find these counterfeit diamonds.
A counterfeiter. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I really like that. Hold on, let me write that down. That's really cool. No, I think that's a really cool idea. I'll do sort my idea. I have a baby. I looked up awaken a baby bullet. it's what I have written here. Don't take any notes, Mike Club. So counterfeit diamond / gemstone ring, which renders spell casting unsuccessful. I have a little note somewhere that says that healing magic gets reversed to cause harm, and so you have to figure out what happened and why someone like cursed the land in that way. It was a very cool idea. there we go. That's in. 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. No, that's not right. Do this one. That maybe.
So your net does not fully cover that grate.
I know. I'm just
Okay.
all I'm doing right now is just trying to line up the structure so that it actually
I'm like, hold
works.
on.
There we go. I was just trying to actually make the net, and then I'm gonna make it bigger. Take the net and because I don't even have it set up right now to cover the it's not even attached to the masts yet. That's not the right mast size. There we go. So we got that. That's better. Oh, not that. I want to take the masts. Just want the masts and the net.
Oh, you know what would be kind of fun?
Uh-huh.
So Twitch has, I don't know if it's like a thing integral. I'm sorry, not integral, but I don't know what the word is. It's actually like vanilla Twitch, but there might be a plugin where players can use their points to like bet on outcomes or
yeah, there is Streamlabs has like gambling games. What were you thinking?
I was thinking that or like voting in the chat. I think that'd be really cool to do, just in terms of like, you know, should we go with A or B for like this map or like for this character?
Oh, for Discover, yeah. That's a fun idea. No, I like that. There is absolutely a poll that you can make. It's a little finicky, but you can make it. You just got to have the mod privilege. You just got to be in the mod tools.
I am.
So you can do that. I have no problem with polling the audience for things. And then I'm going to take the net and I'm going to make the net a little less. I'm going to make it less see-through. Or rather, I'm going to make it less solid. Edit group, lower the opacity. And then also lower the opacity on the grate, because I don't want the grate to be that big either. Okay. And then I want inside the safety net, I want rope, pieces of rope. There we go. Rope. There we go.
I really love this like red color.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan. Okay, so where should the if we have like maybe the Calliope should be up on the black deck?
Absolutely. I was thinking the Calliope up on the like upper deck, or it'd be really cool. I know it's not going to fit in with how you sort of imagine it being more modular, but like have the Calliope like built into the boat.
Oh, sure. No. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, like it's really cool, but I feel like I don't know how like.
Well, let's see what we can do if I select everything and I don't know if there's... Oh, pipe organ. Thank you. That's what I wanted. Thing is fucking amazing. It's also way too big. So... say this is... like these people are going to be a little smaller. That the stairs sort of dictate how big everybody needs to be. There. Okay, so that's not too bad. There's only a few steps. You go up, and you would sit there. It's a little big. I do want to add more pipes, though. There's going to be a lot more pipes to the back of the ship. So you have the Calliope there. Can I change the color to be fun? Go a little more red so it matches the boat. I like it. Okay. So if we do that, let's make this a little more elaborate. Let's go check out. I want a railing, maybe a stair railing or something. Something that I can turn red. See, I don't necessarily dig the ship wall. I want to do something a little more interesting. Let's go. What's a Gothic railing look like? Yeah, very small.
I mean, I like what we currently have.
No, I just mean I want to leave it, but I want there to be almost like molding, MOUL, on the back, so that there's this elaborate setup here. And then so one thing I'm going to definitely do is look for pipes. There's a bunch of pipe options, and I want to see if I can create more pipe organ pipes, because I just want there to be horns or something. So literally like this kind of thing, but like, and then put it underneath the pipe organ. Okay, we gotta make the pipe organ taller, or rather the pipe organ needs to go up higher. And then, because you want it to be like almost like your what do you call it? You're amplifying.
Is that a cannon?
No, it's a pipe. It's like a steampunk pipe. But I want to make it look like you're amplifying the sound.
Yeah.
Of the little guy. And then.
So I wonder, what's the sort of like aesthetic you're going for here? Is this a little more like steampunky?
It's a little steampunk, a little Victorian.
Okay.
A little.
Well, I feel like steampunk's inherently Victorian.
With a little bit of the tiny little bit of like mobster. Like 40s, 30s mobster. Just a little bit of that.
Okay.
That's mostly for the characters. So like, for example, I have a character. I've been goofing off with this idea for a while, and I don't remember where I found the original idea, but the idea of having a mobster named Johnny Three Sticks, who's actually a nobleman, John the Third. But he's just trying to
like Colton.
He's just playing up being a mobster. But that's not actually like his deal.
Johnny 36.
Yeah, he's just an ass. I just really enjoy it. Okay, what am I looking for? Okay, let me just get rid of everything and then scroll a little bit.
Horse.
These are all my custom ones. I sadly could not find a very good isometric horse. But I found a lot of top downs, a lot of top down stuff that I could put in.
What does isometric mean?
Isometric means 3/4. Like the difference between a flat straight down image and one, like if you look at the maps, let me show you. So D&D map. If you look at a D&D map, I'll go put it in a combat map. So this is a top down combat map. So that's top down. Right? You're seeing from the top down.
Yes.
Then an isometric D&D combat would look like this.
Okay.
This is an isometric map. The idea being that you still have the squares, but you have a sense of depth.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I don't know why it's called isometric. I just know that it is. I like isometric, but I have found it hard to transition into doing it because there are far more top-down map assets in the world. I have Kickstarter backed a couple of different dungeon makers in the last year or two that are currently in production that are, you know, randomizers or random generators that you can, or like AI dungeon builders that are isometric, which is really cool. You can say, like, I'm making a dungeon, and then based on what's in the space, it'll give you suggestions for what should go there next, based on just logic that they've built into it. So that's kind of cool. All right, so what I'm looking for right now, I'm just looking at walls and railings and such. Probably do, honestly, you know, this grate, during performances, they probably cover that shit.
You think so?
Yeah, I would think they would cover that grate, not the net, the grate. There's no reason to have it if they don't need to hide. Like, they might take it down occasionally, just to there, and then take that.
Well, what is the point of the grate?
It's you open it up, and that's how you get cargo into the ship.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
At least that's very commonly why it's there. So we can just say that there's this big ass. But so having a rug, I won't put it there right now, but having a rug there's also good for like tumblers, people that need to be able to move, acrobats and stuff.
Lane's got my back in the chat.
Yeah, no, I believe you guys. I agree. You're not gonna get any argument from me that steampunk and Victorian is redundant. I gotcha. Okay, so let's go back to what we're doing. I'm looking for something.
The grate exists.
Oh, see, and because they just, well, you don't necessarily throw them down there because that's the storage area. You would take them down via the doors. There'd be doors to go downstairs.
Oh, okay.
But
you want to intimidate the prisoners, Angela?
Sure, throw them down with all your precious cargo you're trying to sell.
And where are they gonna get out?
Yeah, well, they can destroy your cargo, though. Yes, Mouse would throw them. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's see. We're in farmsteads. There's a bunch of stuff here. Let's go. Oh, there's tents. Tents are perfect. Tents are going to be good for this. I kind of like that. It's kind of cool. It'll be like the.
Can we change the color?
Yeah, we can change color. But the idea partly is I'll be playing around and you can only like, I can change the hue, let's say. Ooh, this one's fun. I like this one. Okay. Anyway, but the idea is the sails are gonna be this kind of style. They're gonna be circusy. I don't know what to do with it yet, but we'll play around with it. I'm also looking for some sort of elaborate. Ooh, wonder if we could do. That's too curved. I thought we could do like carpeted, but that's fine for now. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Big old chair.
So here's the big question.
Mm-hmm. That is
Where did they get
just
this boat in the first time?
They bought the boat. They bought the boat, and they're going to spend some time customizing it. Is the idea?
Okay, so how much did this boat cost them?
They have spent. Good question. But they've spent a considerable amount of time saving up money to buy the boat. There's 8 people, and Kingston's been the parrot guy. He's been saving up for a while. He needed people to do the show and stuff, so he brought them on. It's like, listen, I got the boat. I need people to help me. So let's take a look. 5e ship costs. Mounts and vehicles. Vehicle. A keelboat. 3,000 gold. That's not that bad.
Well, that's not bad.
So I would say for a keelboat to a long ship, it's between 3,000 and 10,000. Let's
what did
actually just go to DMD Beyond and look up keelboat and see what sort of stuff we're talking for that price.
What did Kingston like do?
He was a performer. He used to work at a different circus, and I described to the players. He used to have his own circus, and then he said, "Screw you guys! I'm gonna go make my own circus with blackjack and hookers."
That's why there's uncomfortably hot tieflings.
And then he found 7 really hot tieflings, and they're fine. So one of the smallest sailing. Okay, so a keelboat is not quite what we're looking for. D&D keelboat. They don't have maps of keelboats, I don't think. Oh, no, okay. A keelboat can be operated by one person, is what it said. But it has the capacity for 3 to 4 crew. So let's look at longboat. What does a longboat say?
I feel like it's between keelboat and longboat. I feel like longboat is really what
Sorry,
the
long
Vikings had.
ship. Let me long ship. Equipment. It's not giving me a good sense here. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's like a Viking ship. So yeah, I'm gonna say that the boat was anywhere between 3 and 10,000. Also, this is an adorable dice tray.
Aw.
That's very cute.
So
yeah, that's what we'll go with.
Well, especially if it was like stripped as bare as it was, I'm sure it'd be on the lower end.
Yeah, and then they customized it. Like I said, I'm gonna leave it a little open. I'm trying to treat the ship as a stronghold. So they're gonna be able to customize it and such, and then have hirelings and things. Like the whole ship is meant to be a stronghold. So I'm gonna be brushing up on my stronghold rules and things like that. Trying to figure out what else.
Are hirelings a thing in D&D?
They are.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, I mean, there is some stuff in the Dungeon Master's Guide, but Tasha's Guide to Everything has also added some stuff, I believe.
Okay, because I'm familiar with them through Dungeon World, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, they took it from Dungeons and Dragons. So you can hire people. They're under equipment. Oh my god. Let's see. Services, hirelings. There we go. So services. Adventurers can pay non-player characters to assist them or act on their behalf in a variety of circumstances. Most such hirelings have very ordinary skills, while others are master craftsmen or artists, and a few are experts in specialized adventuring skills. Here are the examples of the kinds of things you'd want. So a coach, 3 copper per mile. Or a copper if you're just trying to travel in a city, so you need a taxi. A skilled hireling, 2 gold per day. An untrained hireling, 2 silver per day. A messenger, 2 copper per mile. A road or a gate toll would be a copper, and a ship's passage would be 1 silver per mile. Spell casting services might cost 10 to 50 gold pieces for a 1st or 2nd level spell like Cure Wounds or Identify. Finding someone to do high-level spells might involve traveling to a large city, perhaps with a university or a prominent temple, and the spellcaster might ask for service instead of payment, the kind of service that only adventurers can provide, such as retrieving a rare item from a dangerous locale or traversing a monster-infested wilderness to deliver something important to a distant settlement. To get them to... So basically they're saying, we don't have prices for this, but you should just have them have to do a side quest.
I love barter side quests.
And then, like I said, I'm pretty sure that... Oh, wait. The sea. I'm pretty sure that Tasha's has the sources. Has some stuff about hirelings in it. Because they have a big downtime section. Group patrons was also an interesting thing that I'm going to play around with potentially with this campaign. Not necessarily like a warlock patron, but the idea of a guild that you work for, or a company that you work for. So here are the most likely patrons for an adventuring group: an academy, an ancient being, an aristocrat, a criminal syndicate, military force, religious order, a sovereign. And then it talks about how to basically build a campaign or how to level up your ability to do that. Running a business is also a section that they have in Tasha's. So that'll be something I'll have to read up on and get
I'm
better
glad
at.
they have that. That's cool. Sellable
magic items. Selling a magic item. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more of the downtime, the quote unquote downtime stuff, which is all just like social interaction and economic stuff. Recurring expenses. Yeah, this whole section is stuff that I'm going to have to work on. Or I'm going to have to play with and learn. Start reading up on some of this stuff, because this is outside of the normal behaviors. So anyway, we are having so much fun that we're past our stop time. It's nice,
so
though.
Here's a question. Do we want to keep saying that it's an hour? Do we want to push to 90 minutes?
We just say it's an hour and a half show. It's, it's from 9 till whenever, Yeah. People want to hang out, I don't mind. That's okay. I'm cool with that. Ooh, this is cool. Snake walls.
Snake walls? Oh, that is so cool.
Okay, so what happens if I change the hue to the...
Oh my God,
wait, no, we're doing...
So cool.
What happens if I go to the actual color of that? So, -27 and 0. So, it's still pretty cool. It'll just kind of... It won't look so much like snakes as it just looks like... just like cool.
Well, it can still be snakes, and like you zoom in. It's like, oh God,
what
snakes.
I'm actually looking for is something with a bit more shape to it. There's a particular chunk of something. I am probably gonna look through the Gothic stuff though. The Gothic set that came out is so gorgeous. Like, you don't just have to do a quote unquote Oriental rug, as they call it. Like this one. You don't have to do this very traditional style of rug. There's like new ones that they've made. This one has a skull in it. It's real cool. I like it. But I think I want to do something that's maybe a contrasting color. So see what the other patterns are that they have. This purple one's really pretty. Ooh, it's got like a goat skull. It's so cool. Big group of hot tieflings. What? I don't know what you're talking about, Lane. I mean, big group of hot tieflings is just like the name anyone could give any of my games.
Yeah, the rating rainbow.
The rating rainbow. That's so good. I love that. Okay, come on. Okay. Let's keep scrolling until I find the thing my brain is telling me exists. Ooh, they are gonna have to come up with a good masthead too. What's really fun about the salt marsh stuff is that there's a ton of stuff in it that is all about upgrading your ship with different things. And so there's like customizable magic items that like mastheads and stuff that are magic that will do things for your ship, which I think is super nifty. I love the idea that you can actually like incorporate things that are not specifically technically what they are, and you can make them into fun things. So like I could incorporate this mirror into the shape if I wanted, just to do something pretty. kind of just to do something kind of neat in the shape. Not exactly what I'm looking to do right now, but just a good example. Let's see. Ooh, I love these. These roof pieces are pretty.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Like scales.
Mm-hmm. Really neat. Oh, lots of, and then they had a wizard's tower thing that just came out. That was really cool. So that'll be part of the setup. Is I'll pull a bunch of stuff from there. Cliffs, don't need cliffs. Braziers, close, not quite what I'm looking for. Tracks, jewels, sewer stuff. There's so many cockroach. There are too many cockroach varieties.
Why? Oh my god, there's like
it's unnecessary. 15. Like, cockroach is a cockroach. Just give me like 3. It's fine.
There's like a bunch of different like poses.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. Someone really got into the cockroaches. It's in the elven stuff, I think, is what I'm trying to remember. There's some organic looking shapes that I do love. The sort of pseudo-Egyptian temple stuff too. It's very neat. Nope. Here we go. This stuff. There's some pretty.
Okay.
There's some pretty stuff in here that are interesting shapes, intertwined walls and such. There's something else though. It wasn't that. It was the vines. Here they are. This is what I was looking for. These are golden vines. So I could play with the hue on them a little bit.
You know, it could be fun. If the ship was like cursed, and once per session you rolled on a table to see how the curse would manifest this time around. Like
that would be pretty fun. I agree.
Like, everyone who steps foot on the ship this session gets extremely disoriented. Have fun.
Oh my god. Why would they stay on the ship?
I don't know. It's only for 24 hours.
Sure. Yeah, this is just can add some extra detail to the back of the boat. And then I'll play around with it a little bit, add some different.
Looks like dragons.
It does. It does kind of look like dragons. I'll do that and take that, flip it and reverse it. There we go. Oh, and then I want to take the elfin vines. I want to turn off their shadow because they were making some funny look. Layer, not the object shadow. Layer shadow. It's too far away to have its own shadow like that. Okay, so I'll play around a little more with this. Pull this up a little bit. I did really dig this. This is a jewelry box I can maybe play around with.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Kind of figure out what to do. I turned it into a throne on a ship that I had before. It was like a ghost ship. That's pretty cool. I don't think I have a good use for it right now, unless I want to just turn that into like it's on a platform. It's unnecessary to be on a platform, though. We will work on setting up some of this stuff. Ooh, the long one. Put that underneath. I am a big fan of this particular rug. It's pretty. Let's see, is there anything else of note or interest that would be pretty? Could do some lights on the calliope. save that. Come back. Do that, but we flip it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because then I'll do a night version of the boat as well. Because obviously they're going to perform a lot in the evening. Well, they will, not obviously. That's not an obvious thing. It is the most dramatic to do in the evening, but obviously it's not going to... this is obvious. There's not going to be, like, electricity and shit, so... They're not necessarily going to have... I mean, you can do... Well, no, and you can do... okay, so when I say steampunk, it's vaguely... It's going to be more arcanotech rather than steampunk. Okay, there's not as much technology. You fix questions and needs through magical means. It's kind of the Eberron system of technology, where it's not necessarily that you have tech. It's just that you've solved questions with magical answers. So like there's no like electric powered movie theaters, but there are places that people broadcast illusory images of something that happened or of a performance, and it's not exactly like you were at a movie theater, but you know, it's functionally the same thing.
No, I get you. That's cool.
You know what? You said the thing earlier, and I'm enjoying it. There's definitely one of these is definitely a canon. Like it's a secret canon. Secret canon. Secret canon. Hit your broadside. Secret, 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 secret canon. I'm amused by how many pipes there are on this thing. I wanted it to be a little ridiculous, so. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to say. So I've got a bunch of different resources. I'll probably continue working on this tonight, and I'll share it in the Discord channel. So if you want to come hang out with us in Discord, that's where we chat a lot about the game or about the things we do here on Discover. But then also, please check us out on Patreon if you haven't. We have an increasing number of bonus content items coming out. At the moment, we have a couple of maps from Incarnate that we work on. I've got over 100 maps so far in Incarnate, so I'm going to be slowly sharing them. And then also you'll have some exclusive rights at certain levels to our World Anvil exclusive content, of which I think I'm going to be sharing the stories of the Carnival Cruise on the Vale World Anvil as we do it, because it is in the world of Vale, so things that get made in that are going to be canonical to the world building, so I'm excited. Anyway, so that's what we got so far. Just for the sake of fun, we're gonna give it a little bit of gonna give the ship a little bit of a send-off with
I'll grab my glass bottle.
With a title. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. What are we gonna use?
Looks like the best I can do is a can of LaCroix.
That's fair. You can use that. I can live with that. Well, we will, I'll make this better at some point, but for now, we're gonna go with the Calliope.
Is Comic Sans not good enough for you?
Shh. No, it's not. It's never enough. Let's see. Let's go with blue. That's pretty. You gonna go high def for me? You gonna You gonna do the thing I need? Or are you just gonna be low res? Oh, there you go. Come on. There we go. That's what I needed. Thank you. Takes a second sometimes. And we'll take that, and we're gonna make it shorter and taller. And then I'm gonna take Calliope and I'm gonna change some stuff. We're gonna get rid of the outline. We're gonna add a shadow. Gonna darken that shit. We're gonna make it a little bigger. Gonna vertical offset it. No, I don't want. And then we're gonna, sure, we can bold it, and then I don't want an outline. Space it out. No, that's too much. Only does that. Okay. Anyway, so we'll play around with that a little bit at another time. The feels important. Okay. Gonna save it, and that's what we're gonna have for now. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us in chat and such. And thank you, Franz. I had a lovely conversation with you today.
I am very excited for how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, I'm really super excited. I'll keep you guys all up to date about how the game is going. We're going to be trying to keep good notes, and I'm looking forward to sharing the stories of the Calliope and the crew of our new campaign, Carnival Cruise. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Shenanigans, our D&D campaign that we stream. It is, we've got, hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got Kyle back tomorrow, so we'll have a full crew, and we'll be doing some deep dives into some enchanted books that you all helped me build last time. So we'll see how they do. Something might have already happened that people weren't aware of, which will be fun. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. We will talk to you all later and see you around the Discord. Have a good night. Have a very good week. We'll see you all next time here, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, till whenever. And above all, please do us a favor and be good to each other. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whenever I'm about to dance, I'm just like I tell you. And when I say hold yourself, I want all of you get ready to stop.